Yeah, I want you to see with me and I'll share my thought on it.
So you guys needed a federal judge to tell you that calling yourself a doctor as a nurse is inappropriate in a clinical setting. It is confusing, and if we are being honest, it is misleading.
So if you listen to her argument correctly, you will hear her say in a clinical setting it is wrong to call yourself a doctor when you are a nurse. And that makes her argument flawless. Why do you want to call yourself a doctor when you're a nurse? Why do you want to call yourself a doctor when you're a physiotherapist in the clinical setting? If you actually want to call yourself a doctor or a prof, then go to the academic setting and leave the clinical setting. You should learn how to separate your degree from your profession. I know you worked hard to earn that degree, that doctorate degree, but separate it from your profession. If you're in the professional line, like nursing, physiotherapy, and all these paramedical, especially, stop dragging the title of doctor in a clinical setting. I used to think like that before that. Why? Because actually doctors usually do too much. They don't want to leave the work for you for you. Please leave the work for the pharmacists, the physiotherapists, the nurses for them. That aside. But you have to know that now when it comes to your degree, it is a degree. But what is your profession? It is nursing. Let's take for instance. Do you know that lawyers, barristers too have doctorate degree and they call them Dr. Rema? For instance, I'm a lawyer. But when I go to the law court, I do not introduce myself as Dr. Rema. I am a barrister in the law court. So even if I'm a professor outside of the law court, but once I get to the law court, our title becomes equal. We are all barristers, except there's another level of, law that you have to add. But it has to be a title that fits into the setting where you are. And doctor and prof does not fit into that scenario. The same thing for you as a PT, as a nurse, as a pharmacist. When you are in the clinical setting, you are a pharmacist. When you're in the clinical setting, you are a physiotherapist. When you're in the clinical setting, you are a nurse. It just happens that the medical doctors, their degree and their profession has the same title. Leave it for them. Stop dragging it. And I think this thought also comes from the place of inferiority. You are thinking you are doing too much, so and the nurse name is not capturing enough. You are not doing little with your title. You are just enough by who you are. I was speaking with some OT students a while back, and I was telling them that those little differences in our professions, even if there are similarities, those little differences makes us unique and makes us needed in a clinical setting. If you want to be like every other practitioner in the clinical setting, there will be no need for you. So if it's one difference that makes you different, stick to it, and that is your selling point.